So, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for being here with us today. I'm Mike Morris, the chair of the Downtown Columbus Development Corporation, and on behalf of the entire board of CDDC and the staff, it's clearly my pleasure to welcome the virtual groundbreaking for the peninsula. I'm sure everyone's wondering what a virtual groundbreaking is. Well, you're going to be enjoying one today as best you can. You're typically used to seeing people 4 or 5 standing in a row with a shovel, making pronouncements and then turning over a spade of dirt. I can assure you we all have shovels, but we're all in locations where trying to dig into the ground may be more difficult than easy, so we won't do that. I wish we could be together for that groundbreaking, but as you know, these unprecedented times call for extraordinary measures, and I'm grateful that you can join us virtually to celebrate this exciting event. For more than a decade, CDDC has been working tirelessly through its board and public-private relationships to continue to change the scope of downtown Columbus. One of the major undertakings early on that we had was to look at the asset of the river flowing through that great city and saying, that doesn't look user-friendly. What can we do about it? It started off some years ago with the Scioto Mile, followed by the Scioto Greenways project. And I think you would all admit that that now has opened up a vista for downtown Columbus enjoyment for all of our citizens, as well as statewide, as well as, quite honestly, nationally for anyone who comes to our beautiful city to see those things. We continue to move away from that particular area with the Dorian Greenlands, which gives us a nice city greenscape, not unlike the places that we've had at the John F. Wolfe Community Commons and other places that are enjoyable in the downtown area through the work of the CDDC. But we continue to work on making the peninsula what it should be. The opening of the internationally recognized National Veterans Memorial in 2018 was clearly a touchstone day for all of us, and the uniqueness of that design and the uniqueness of that experience when you go through it is something nothing short of phenomenal. So if you get a chance, and you haven't, you surely should do that. And then of course the anchor on the peninsula, which has been there for years, Counci, has been enhanced with the National Museum being there and continuing work as we go forward with Counci and other plans that hopefully will develop over time. These activities and amenities that are happening on the peninsula make the entirety of downtown Columbus even that much more exciting. We can look to the downtown cityscape on one side of the peninsula, now look to the other side and see the ever-recovering Franklinton area, which we're so proud of as residents of the city and of this state. We're really lucky to have 26 undeveloped acres on the peninsula, and that's what this project's all about. We have taken the opportunity to bring 3 very well-known and clearly talented individuals to help us in a professional sense do this work with the Downtown Development Authority management team working as overall coordinators. So I think you all know that we went into this work in 2017 early on. We had a bit of a start, didn't work out the way we wanted. We went back at it in 2018 and came up with 3 players, Daimler, who we all know and have had on many, many projects, Flaherty and Collins, another well-known firm to all of us, and of the Rockbridge Group, to do this bold vision and execute the plan to bring workers, residents, and visitors together in what will be the peninsula development. This has been a labor of love for all of us, and the time is coming that we had this great coordination between CDDC, between the city and our development partners. Experiencing that through board meetings and updates from Guy and Amy and the team at CDDC have been nothing short of phenomenal. It's been a joy to be able to work with the mayor and the city. They have been nothing but great partners, helping to move things as quickly as they could within their particular process. The same of the county commissioners, the same of the city leadership groups. We've had nothing but a cooperative effort. And in that regard, I'd like to take an opportunity to thank a lot of people who have helped us with that. And I'm going to try to do this without missing anyone. So I will take the opportunity to read what we've got with us here. So the leaders at all levels who have worked on this from Columbus, we're especially grateful, as I said, to Mayor Ginther, to the Columbus City Council President Shannon Hardin, as well as all the members of the council, to the Franklin County Commissioners, all these folks demonstrating unwavering belief and support. And of course, I want to thank the developers, Amler, Flaherty and Collins and Rockbridge, and their teams who have worked tirelessly to take this to the stage that we are now. The colleagues on the CDDC board of directors, as well as Guy Worley and his team, and Amy Taylor and the work that she's done. It really is amazing what's happened. And thanks to each and every one of you for your deep involvement, not only in a physical sense, but in an emotional sense. Because when we're done with this, this will be one more thing that we can look back and say some years from now, a lot of people didn't think this land use plan, which was put together almost a decade ago, could come to fruition. But because of the hard work of partnerships, private and public, through the county, through the city, through the whole support structure, and these three individual companies who are putting equity and sweat and design into a project that we think will make a huge difference in the peninsula as we go forward. The multi-development strategy with workers, visitors, people living, people coming to eat, people coming to be entertained into this unique site is going to be a vibrant part of the city going forward, and something that we'll all have an opportunity to enjoy. I really wish I could take you through a visual walkthrough of what's going to happen here. If it were not a virtual meeting, we'd be able to do that. But through the magic of technology and the incredible work of the CDD staff and others, we do have a movie that we would like to show you at this time, which will virtually take you through. So with that, I hope the movie is queued up and ready to roll. And if it is, I will be able to stop ad-libbing and we can get to work. Movie time.
The next great neighborhood in a best-in-class city is about to blossom. The Peninsula is 26 prime acres, ripe for renewal and expansion in the heart of downtown Columbus, and steps away from Franklinton, the Scioto Riverfront, Counci, Dorian Green Park, and the National Veterans Memorial and Museum. Designed from the ground up to be a distinctive city space to live, work, and play, it's the most significant new project to come to Columbus in decades. A true master development in scale, spirit, and standout style. Beyond the business core, a multi-million-dollar investment means new residential clusters with features and finishes to welcome everyone home. A high-amenity, unique lifestyle hotel that will create a sense of community, a gathering place for in- and out-of-towners to embrace the authentic Columbus. A vibrant, walkable hub of exceptional dining and shopping. Whether encountering the Peninsula street side or from one of the many rooftops, energy emanates from every vantage point. Just minutes from John Glenn International Airport, this unique development provides easy access to all that this fast-growing metro has to offer. With custom office space that includes in-demand features like open floor plans, glass expanses, and new-to-the-neighborhood balconies. A magnet for established brands or new names on the startup track. This is the new go-to for all Columbus. The Peninsula, a one-of-a-kind urban experience.
Well, I'll certainly say that that is an exciting walkthrough of a magnificent project. When we get to that final day and all of those facilities are in place, I can see any one of us sitting atop one of those restaurants having dinner or enjoying the vistas of this great city. And today, it's my pleasure to introduce to you one of the critical players in getting all of this done, a very, very busy fella and very deeply dedicated to developing this project and this land use. For not only the benefit of the city, but Franklinton and the entire surrounding areas. I'd like to turn the program over to Mayor Ginther. Andy, please.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you for your great leadership, and to Guy Worley and the Columbus Downtown Development Corporation, to our great partners, President John O'Grady and Council President Hardin, to Bob White, to David, to Jim. Thank you all for being part of this and all of your incredible partnership thus far. It's an exciting day here in the city of Columbus, made all the more so after the months of challenges that we've all been facing together. But today is a look toward the future, a future that I believe will be very bright in this community. The Scioto Peninsula and the newest downtown neighborhood, I believe, represents a bridge to the oldest neighborhood in Columbus, Franklinton. It also presents more good-paying jobs for our neighbors in construction, design, and more at a time when employment has never been more important. Our local business leaders have made it clear that workforce is a key ingredient for successful regional growth. To retain and attract the talent we need, we must be able to provide safe, affordable housing throughout the region. The Scioto Peninsula will provide housing residents can afford, including units for families of 4 who make $65,000 a year or less. In fact, the peninsula will have something for everyone. Miles of waterfront views and pathways, acres and acres of parks, and community green spaces, conveniently connected bike trails, easy access to Scioto River for canoeing and kayaking, and close proximity to downtown's most popular places, happenings, and events. It will be a walkable, bikeable community, a unique live, work, play lifestyle centered around culture, rooted in common interests, and infused with creativity. A neighborhood that brings together the best of all worlds. And I want to thank you for letting me join you today for this virtual celebration. This is a great moment for Columbus and for Central Ohio. I want to thank Guy Worley and the Columbus Downtown Development Corporation for leading this effort into building Columbus's next great neighborhood. Mike, thanks to you so much for allowing me to join you.
Gee, thanks a lot, Mr. Mayor. What a pleasure to have you here with us. And you surely worked tirelessly on helping us put this together. You and your staff have been incredibly cooperative in helping to move things along. And to your point, this will make a major, major difference to that side of the river and continue to expand the enjoyment of Columbus. And as you know, Mr. Mayor, there's nothing more important for you than making sure that the city council is with us as well. And we have another very busy fellow who's worked on this tirelessly for us and has been a pal of yours and an associate of ours moving forward. I'd like to ask President Shannon Hardin to say a few words. Mr.
Well,
President?
thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, and to the rest of the speakers and to everyone who has made today's groundbreaking a possibility. Congratulations to getting us to this point. It's been an honor to be a partner. Today I stand on behalf, or technically sit, because this is 2020 and we're on Zoom. But today I'm here on behalf of my colleagues on council, specifically the chair of our development committee on council, Councilmember Emmanuel Remy, to be a part of this great announcement. You know, there have been many days taking my nephew to COSI or stopping over at the firefighters hall where I've looked at these empty plots of land and said, what could this be? I'm excited that this vacant land will soon be transformed into a new neighborhood. I'm excited because this project plays into so many various efforts in our city. Later today, council will formalize an effort with CODA, MORPC, and other partners to identify high capacity transit and multimodal improvements for an east-west corridor. These mobility improvements will run directly through this new neighborhood, offering residents and employees and visitors a more convenient and affordable way to get around. Furthermore, it will connect the west side and the east side with a new center of activity, of commerce and community right in the middle. This development will help provide much needed housing in a dense, walkable environment. The recent regional housing strategy made clear that to keep up with our region's growing population, we need to build more housing and more affordable housing. Phase 1 will bring several hundred new units and residents to this area, and future phases could yield up to as many as 1,800 additional units. And that's not even to talk about the new construction jobs that we'll have right here, right in downtown. What an exciting day for our city as we start to chart our pathway towards the future, which will be bright on both sides of the Scioto. Thank you all for your partnership, for your work. Look forward to further engagement as we move forward. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, President Hardin. It was nice to see how excited you are about the project as well, because you and your team are a critical part of making the city work under the mayor's direction. And of course, all of that falls inside of the much broader purview of the Franklin County leadership team. And at this time, I'd like to ask a good friend for years and years, John O'Grady, to say a few words on behalf of the county commissioners and his colleagues. John?
Well, thank you, Mike. On behalf of my colleagues, Marilyn Brown and Kevin Boyce, I want to thank all of our great partners at City Hall and at the CDDC. It's been 12 years that Guy Worley and I have been having conversations about this land, and so it's so exciting that we are finally here. So thank you for having me. I don't have to tell anyone how difficult the last 6 months has been. 25,000 county residents are battling or have been battling this virus. And so these have been very troubling times. So I'm thrilled to be a part of this celebration, which gives us another reason to look forward to the next year when all of us will hopefully be frequenting places just like those that are going to be developed here on the peninsula. The peninsula will have 50 acres of parks and restaurants and shops and apartments, office space, with spots for activities like canoeing. My family and I can hardly wait to be a part of all that the peninsula is going to have to offer. This area will be so inviting that I predict that this development will become one of the county's most popular gathering spaces. We've been named one of the 10 most livable cities by CNN Money Magazine, and developments like these are just one of the reasons why. Of course, just the start of work will bring benefits before the rest of the country gets to learn about this great addition to Franklin County. This development creates jobs at a time of historic high unemployment, and I think we all can agree that these jobs couldn't have come at a better time. I'm sure that many of you are like me and will be watching this area develop with anticipation. But as we celebrate today, I will also want all of us to remember to get to the point of enjoying this development, that in all that it will have to offer, we need to continue to look out for one another. We need to stay physically distant. We need to wear our masks, and we need to wash our hands. We're all in this together, and we'll get through this together. And I want to look forward to all of us seeing each other down on the peninsula in the not too distant future. Be well.
Thanks a lot, John. And washing our hands is an important issue, but on this project, none of us intend to wash our hands. We intend to grab this and carry it forward to its conclusion in a very important way. So let me recap the kind of the public-private partnership that goes into place to do the many things that we've been able to do to build downtown Columbus over the last decade or so. The public part of it, you just heard from leaders like the mayor, leaders from the city council, and leaders, of course, from Franklin County, telling you what they are looking forward to and how excited they are about it. CDDC is that kind of intermediary that links together the public and the private side of the partnership, hoping to get these things done. We've had a number of projects, many of which folks said couldn't be done, but they have been done. Guy and Amy and the team at CDDC worked tirelessly to continue to bring these kinds of projects forward. But now, it's important that we move to the private side of today's activities. And it is my pleasure to introduce Bob White Jr. from the Daimler Group. I think many of the improvements that we've seen in Columbus over the years, let alone over the last decade or so, have a lot to do with this firm and the leadership that this family has brought to the city. So Bob, kick it off for the private partners, if you would.
Thank you, Mike. That is a great segue into I think when you get to the groundbreaking component of any project, it is usually the culmination of several years of effort in building up to this time, and this project is no different. First, I'd like to thank all of our participants today. Certainly thank Mayor Ginther for his leadership, Council President Hardin, Commissioner John O'Grady, and certainly Guy and Amy from the CDDC, and you, Mike, for providing the leadership that you have all bestowed upon us to create a truly mixed-use project. And in today's environment, mixed use is certainly a term that's used quite frequently, and that's because it is critically important to the success of every project these days to create a vibrant sense of place. And so all of the public sector components that need to come together to really create this mixed use environment and team and truly partner with the private sector. We should be very proud of all the efforts that have been undertaken to date to get to where we are. So this project represents a location that we've talked about being really second to none. Its proximity to hundreds of millions of dollars of public and private investment in our Scioto River, the Greenways project, the Scioto Mile, Dorian Green, Cosi, Vets Memorial. You couldn't put together a better grouping of public investments that could spark private sector investment to create a sense of place. So at Daimler, we are incredibly excited to be the office developer associated with the Peninsula. This project really comes on the heels of perhaps a couple decades of focus from our city leadership to create a vibrant downtown. I think we all agree that a vibrant downtown core is critical to the success of our city and our region. And no question, over the last 6 months, lots of things have been thrown at all of us, but we can't lose sight of that vision of the long-term importance of having a vibrant downtown core. This investment from Daimler represents our largest single speculative office development in our 38-year history of our company. People certainly ask, especially over the last 6 months, is that something you guys are excited about? And we say, absolutely, there's no question. We think that this building that was a little bit shown in the early video, this building has a 30,000 square foot floor plate. It's a blank canvas, a blank slate for companies to come in and figure out how they want to configure their own interior office space in the future when they figure out what their new normal is for perhaps their office environment. Companies have talked for a long time about their culture and the importance of their culture, and a lot of it has to do with their physical office space and the proximity to amenities and the ability to collaborate. And those things are not going away, in our opinion. They will be here for a long period of time. So while there's been a decent stopgap measure put in place of remote working, coming back to the office will be a critical component of the success of companies, the ability to innovate and collaborate. And so we strongly believe that this project in this location with the partners that we've all partnered with on this project, we're incredibly optimistic about the Peninsula and are looking forward to a fantastic project. So thank you, Mike, and thank you for the rest of the team for all your leadership.
Well, thanks, Bob, and thanks much for the office buildings and the commitment that you and the company have made to seeing this project go forward. And these are investments that you make wisely and with dedication, and we appreciate that. So now let's move on to our next speaker, who David Flaherty, is going to talk to us about Flaherty and Collins and their work in developing the residential areas, which is equally exciting and every bit as a deep commitment on behalf of him and his team. So David, please.
Thank you, Mike. It's a pleasure to be with you all virtually. We are fortunate technology allows us to have an event during social distancing like this. This is a wonderful day for the city of Columbus, its citizens, and for Flaherty and Collins properties and our over 450 employees. We're excited to be part of this transformative development and want to thank Mayor Ginther, the Columbus City Council, led by President Hardin, Guy Worley, and his team at Columbus Downtown Development Corporation. This project would not have been possible without the commitment, investment, and dedication of the City of Columbus and CDDC. We also want to thank First National Bank of Omaha, First Merchants Bank, along with 50 East Capital for the financial partnership on this project, given the tight financial markets since COVID-19 began, especially on large projects like this one. Investing in projects like this not only benefits residents of our project, one at the Peninsula, but also nearby businesses, and invariably has a ripple effect that resonates throughout the city. Public-private partnerships are not easy, but as a company, it is all we do. In fact, in the past 4 months, we've closed and began construction on 3 mixed-use developments in Ohio alone, each of them more than $80 million in total development cost. Public-private partnerships are essential to the urban development, and one at Peninsula is no exception, especially during challenging economic times like these. This project will bring jobs and new people to the area with high average incomes that will help surrounding businesses and the city's economic strength grow, creating an economic impact of over $100 million for our phases of this development alone. This project will bring young professionals and empty nesters who will have a lifestyle and living environment options that put them near the heart of downtown and all the shopping, dining, cultural, and entertainment options that are so close by. Additionally, One at the Peninsula will create a new downtown luxury apartment living experience that we do not think exists in the Columbus market. And this is including our 11th floor sky deck with pool overlooking the gorgeous skyline of downtown Columbus. Equally as important, we have dedicated at least 20% of our apartments for affordable housing. We will have the same access and enjoyment to all of the resort style amenities offered throughout the property for the affordable and the market rate residents. All of this serves to bolster a vision of a connected, walkable, bikeable, sustainable city where top talent seeks to live and companies choose to locate. All of this growth and development spurs more growth, making downtown Columbus a stronger, better connected, and economically healthy city. Simply put, we believe that Columbus is the best market in the Midwest. We're excited to get started with construction and look forward to the day we open our doors to our residents. Thank you again for the opportunity to join you all today. We're thrilled to be part of the Peninsula. Mike,
Thanks.
I'll turn it back to you.
Thanks a lot, David. I'm sure those words about Columbus being one of the great places in the Middle West, music to the ears of the mayor, the city council, as well as the Franklin County commissioners. And thank you for your involvement here and with the many projects you've developed throughout the country and those that you've already focused on here in the great state of Ohio. Tell us we've got a great partner on the residential side of this project. And that brings us to the final part of the overall development. And I want to take the time to introduce Jim Merkel, who will talk to us about the work that Rockbridge is going to do in building us a new hotel in the Peninsula area, downtown Columbus, Ohio. Go ahead. You're on, Jim.
Great. Thank you, Mike. I am incredibly proud to be here today and be a part of this project. When we were introduced to the project 2 years ago, really was blown away. I've lived here my entire life. Our business is actually a national business, and we have not done too many projects here, and this will be our first ground up development project that we've done here. The reason we are so excited to move forward is really what has been done over the last 35 years. And I think Mike is extremely humble to stay a decade. I think that this project and the investment in Counci and the investment in the Peninsula and the infrastructure that's been put in place on the riverfront has been decades in the making, and we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg in the potential here on these 26 acres. And what we saw was also that vision of the city and the CDDC and Franklin County and City Council, everybody, the vision and the support to do something here that is special, that advances the city. And I've been really impressed as we've been able to spend more time here locally with our city, that our city and the coordination between the public sector and the private sector is as coordinated as we've seen around the country. And what that results in is a big vision for this city and what's to come, and why we think, as David just mentioned about Columbus being the best city in the Midwest, I think it extends even beyond the Midwest. We are on a trajectory that that is many cities would be very proud to be on the same trajectory, and we see it. We have invested in over 38 states, and to be able to bring a project to Columbus in our hometown that we've done in other cities is really special, and we're proud to be a part of it. We've been asked in the middle of a pandemic and economic challenges, why are you moving forward with a development project? And the reason is simple. It's the big vision. This is a long-term investment, and there is no question that this will be a core neighborhood of the city of Columbus that will be a bright spot. The access to the highways, the downtown, is complementary to all the other neighborhoods in town, and we are looking to make this a great place to complement other neighborhoods. We think this fits in terrifically well. Our hotel is intended to be the hub of this neighborhood, and we've designed it to be such, to be of Columbus, an independent lifestyle boutique hotel to anchor this neighborhood, to be a place where locals and visitors will come and enjoy our great city, great hospitality. It'll be a welcoming place in our design, in the amenities. It'll appeal to a broad group of people, and that's our intent. We'll have great restaurants, a great independent coffee shop, very thoughtfully designed rooms, rooftop bar, meeting space with all daylight and windows in every room to the meeting space. And it also will have a gear garage where our guests and locals can come and check out bikes and skateboards and explore our city in unique ways that can take advantage of the riverfront and the green spaces in and around this site, and certainly the bike paths. So we're very excited, and want to thank our everybody involved, and this goes back decades, and I'm sure there are players that I'm not going to thank, but I want to thank because it takes a big vision to have a project like this in the core of our city. A new downtown, a fresh look at the future, and it takes a village, as you know by this phone call or this virtual meeting, that there are a lot of people involved, and the CDDC board and staff. You have led the vision here. in coordination with the mayor and city council and Franklin County, the coordination and has been very impressive. And as we've hit roadblocks, everybody's stacked their hands and tried to figure out how to make everything work. And it takes that to get a special project done. I want to thank the other developers. When you include the CDDC as well as 3 developers that are all designing and developing a mixed-use project together, there's potential for misalignment and a difficult in collaboration. And I can speak for myself, and I think others share this. The collaboration has been spectacular, and the team's shared vision has been aligned from the beginning, and we've all worked together to really pull together all the details to make this a really special place. So I want to thank all the developers and the CDDC on the execution side and alignment. And then I want to thank certainly my team here, Huntington Bank, and our investors who have all worked tirelessly to bring this project together. And certainly 6 months ago got hit with a curveball, and we're a resilient bunch and believe in this project and are excited to move forward and make it happen. So thank you, everybody. We're proud to be a part of it, and looking forward to seeing the first phase of this project open its doors.
Thanks a lot, Jim. And I think it's pretty easy for anyone who is with us today on this virtual meeting. They can see the excitement that you, a builder of hotels worldwide, are going to now have one where you can truly put the emotion that you bring from being a lifelong resident of this great city to fruition along with your partners. So I hope everyone could sense the excitement of the players from the private partnerships that we just heard from Jim and Dave and Bob. Very informative in each and every one of their presentations. You've already heard from the mayor, from the city council president, from the chairman of the Franklin County Commissioners. You've surely heard from us on behalf of the CDDC. In a little while, you'll be able to hear from Guy Worley and some of the hard work he's done trying to herd all of these cats, including his board and these developers and the political public-private partnership. But right now, what I'd like to do is hear some excitement from people on the street. So I think it's time for another video to play with some individuals commenting on what they hear about the peninsula and what they might believe the peninsula can be. Can you run that video, please?
I'm excited to build the link, between our thriving downtown and the historic roots of the city in Franklinton, where it all started for Columbus in Franklinton, our oldest neighborhood. I always viewed the peninsula as a bridge from downtown to Columbus neighborhoods, and this development will, really be a great example of that.
Well, the thing I'm most excited about the peninsula is to simply see the construction begin. I'm always amazed when you go to a vibrant city like Columbus, when you see cranes in the air. It means that a city is growing and is dedicating itself to the residents, not only of the central city, but of the larger community as well and the suburban surrounding it.
Not many world-class projects are starting in today's tough environment, as we are all dealing with the global pandemic. But the leaders of our community believe in Columbus and its people, so we are coming together and powering through. I'm excited to be part of the team and to get this project underway and moving forward.
And so when I look to, out my window right now of City Hall, and I look to this land, I know the future of Columbus is going to lie in the peninsula, and we are going to be stronger as a community for the investments that we make in the peninsula today.
I think the creativity and the partnership that's been created amongst multiple developers, partnering with the CDDC, partnering with the City of Columbus to create a vibrant mixed-use development that takes one of the crown jewel sites of our community. It will have live, work, play opportunities, all immediately adjacent to an unbelievable backdrop of the downtown skyline.
I can't wait for more housing opportunities at the Peninsula.
The Peninsula will be one of the most exciting neighborhoods in the city, and in fact, the state, in fact, the country, because it'll be a place where people can live, work, and play and be entertained all at the same time.
Hi, I'm Steve Whitman. I'm chairman of the Downtown Commission, and we've had the great pleasure of reviewing all 4 of the first buildings, the apartments, the offices, the hotel, and the parking structure at the Peninsula. And what I'm excited about is seeing the final finished product.
Columbus's next great development is just around the bend on the Peninsula.
The cities that keep investing in and keep ensuring that good placemaking happens are going to be the cities that continue to compete and win. And Columbus is a winner, and we intend to keep it that way. And this project on the Peninsula is going to be a key ingredient to making sure that we've got the places and the products that keep us on front.
So I think that the development of the Peninsula is kind of the crowning jewel on so many of the other projects that have been established downtown.
I'm excited to see downtown continue to transform, to see the energy of downtown and Franklinton come together, and to see more affordable downtown living options all on the Peninsula.
I'm so excited for next level views. Literally, the Peninsula is going to have some of the most Instagrammable rooftop spaces in the entire city.
I can't wait for the Peninsula to have my first dinner there. I can't wait to go for my first shopping experience or to just walk around and just to see the beauty of the aesthetics. And I just can't wait for the Peninsula to be here.
Well, I'm excited about what the Peninsula is going to do for all of the surrounding businesses and the surrounding residents in the area. When that steel starts rising, there's going to be a lot of excitement for the folks that are already there.
I think this is awesome. I'm really excited about the Peninsula and looking forward to seeing another part of the city's downtown skyline come to life.
I am so excited about the Peninsula for 2 reasons. Personally, I love people. I love the energy of this area. Professionally, being the CEO of Counci, we're at the epicenter of this incredible project. I couldn't be happier.
We cannot really wait to get started on what we consider to be a once-in-a-lifetime master plan development opportunity in the most vibrant, fastest growing city in the Midwest, Columbus, Ohio.
When the Peninsula opens, I'm excited for a nice dinner and a beautiful view.
Right around the bend from the Peninsula is one of the most dynamic metropolitan economies in the U.S. and a great example of an entire region that is leaning forward towards the modern economy.
Groundbreakings are incredibly important because they're pivotal moments where all of the momentum shifts from everything happening up to that point to having it become much more public and visible. I would also say that I recently sent a daughter off to college in another city, and I think the Peninsula will be one of the reasons why she will want to come back and live in Columbus.
We welcome 43 million visitors a year, so I can't wait to experience the energy and cultural lifestyle that the Peninsula is going to provide once it's complete.
This is going to be something that we're going to be proud of as a city to see come to life and to see come out of the ground in something urban in the center of our city, connecting communities. And so I'm just excited to see that come to life in our backyard.
The excitement to have all those ingredients and be right there in the center of a city as vibrant as Columbus is really remarkable.
I think it's going to transform our center core of our downtown and be a shining spot for generations to come.
City is really about neighborhoods, and this is going to be an amazing neighborhood, the Peninsula, and it was critical for Columbus to be involved in it.
When the Peninsula opens, I can't wait to see the views from our rooftop amenity deck on the 11th floor overlooking Counci and downtown Columbus and the river.
excited for the Peninsula to be a very walkable neighborhood. Whether you're coming from downtown or Franklinton into the Peninsula, you'll be able to get there easily. And of course, the residents of the new area will appreciate the walkability of it.
I'm excited about the Peninsula because it's about more than just buildings. It's about energy, it's about people, it's about placemaking.
The Peninsula will be something that defines Franklin County, Central Ohio, as a region, as an area. I mean, there'll be a little bit for everyone to partake in, and that's the beauty.
Well, that was surely another enjoyable video, taking the comments of a number of people, both of whom have been working on the project, as well as those who are excited about the development opportunities in this unique location. I think to Jim's comments about how many decades we've been at this, and seeing a video clip of my old friend, Mayor Michael Coleman, it was at least 2004, 2005 when the American Electric Power Foundation brought a check of $10 million forward, and got a commitment from then Mayor Coleman for $10 million from the city coffers as well. Then gathering up $20 more million to put together the Scioto Mile project, which began part of this overall development, something that I know as the head of American Electric Power at the time, was something we were deeply proud to be involved with in the downtown area, and it was the right way to go about doing it. So I think you've seen Amy's last comment on the video. I know you've seen comments that Guy has made, but will now make, and the General Counsel, Matt. The three of them have been instrumental in helping to make sure the CDDC staff brought this project forward. So Guy, the floor is yours.
Hello, I'm Guy Worley, President and CEO of the Columbus Downtown Development Corporation. Very excited to be here today to break ground on the city-changing project, the Peninsula. I wish all of you were here with us today. Before we get started, I want to thank all of the members and all the partners that have worked so hard to make this project become a reality. I want to especially thank Mayor Andrew Ginther and his entire leadership team, President Shannon Hardin and all of City Council, our Franklin County Commissioners, and our developers, Bob White Sr. and Bob White Jr. of Daimler, Jim Merkel from Rockbridge, and David Flaherty from Flaherty and Collins, and our CDDC Board of Directors, along with Mike Morris, our chair. This truly is a public-private partnership. That being said, I wish you were all here today with your shovels so that we could break ground together. But since these are unusual times, we decided to do something a little bit different and bring in some larger shovels to break ground. So with that, gentlemen, please start your engines. Let's move some dirt and let's get to work.
Okay, good. Well, let me just say, Guy, way to go. What a video. I said, I hope the cat paid for that little commercial we gave him with a video showing them. But I just wanted to say I brought my shovel here so everyone would know we had it. And it's been a joy to introduce the project to the community and to others who will watch this on the obvious streaming opportunities that will be out there. I want to thank Grant, you and your team, for running this entire program without a hitch. So frequently, virtual meetings like this aren't quite as smooth. Bob, I'm sure it was fun for you to see your dad in part of the video, but all in all, a major undertaking by the CDDC, by the public leadership of this great, great city and community, and by the private business members who are also a part of seeing to it that where we live continues to expand, continues to get better, continues to face the challenges that are in front of us. And this really is a special day. And thank you very much for the time and the attention that you've given us. Thanks a lot.